Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Myth 2 Soulblighter. Today is a very special episode. You get to find out why the Journeymen have my undying loathing. That's right, it will all be revealed. With that exciting little tease, why don't we get right on down to it.
Monday, March 2nd, Muirthemne. The events I am about to relate occurred just a few days after my departure to Forest Heart. In the interest of historical accuracy, I have inserted these pages in my journal to acknowledge this important moment in time. After the ibis crown was recovered from the ancient tomb below Muirthemne, a ceremony was held to coronate Ulrich as the new emperor of the Cathbruic Empire. The Journeymen, after 100 years of self-imposed penance for being absent during the fall of the city, threw down the gold tiles that hung around their necks and swore fealty to the new emperor. The Journeymen were no more. The Heron Guard were reborn. Hours later, Muirthemne was overrun by Mircridia, and the Heron Guard were given their chance at redemption.
Okay, so I'll get to them in a minute. The Heron Guard, don't worry about it. But first off, we need to defend the walls of Muirthemne from our enemy, and don't let them get past us and get into the city. It isn't as big a problem as it sounds. They tend to circle back and try to kill us. Let's get our level specific hints. The Heron Guard each carry, they actually only each carry one root, but they do heal, so this is still useful. Yeah. Goals, always the goals. Defend the ramps leading up to the walls. This is kind of crazy talk. We're not really going to do this. And who knows what that can mean. Alright, let's at least get this level started.
I'm telling you, those were standard charges for 25-pound mortars.
But they were cannons.
Well, what were they set up like mortars for, then?
Hey, did any of you just
Like,
hear something?
I don't know. Giants? As in Mercurian giants? Yeah, it turns out that hole that
Go for help. We'll hold them off as long as we can.
Yeah, it turns out that big hole that we knocked in the wall is gonna come back and get us. Also, I was wrong about the dwarves.
Okay.
We do still get a dwarven mortar. Kinda wish I had saved up some more heroes. And note that we do have archers up on the walls. They're not gonna be of much use. They can put a few shots into somebody as they come over, but generally speaking, Mercridia are... they're pretty much immune to arrows. Hold on. I think it takes like 12 to take one of them out.
Make up your mind.
You idiots, come back. Luckily, we can still use the Mercridia's own ferocity against them. Eyes indeed.
New units
there he is,
received.
Whatever could this mean? Gotta get our mortar guy back in position here. Looks like a small army coming our way. Don't quite see when they're coming. Oops. Berserks are kind of taking it on the chin a bit, aren't they? Sounds like, oop, our old buddy the Trow. Sweet. Well, let's all get on this action, huh? And here come the Heron Guard. Okay. So Arden Schick is back with us. We don't have a name or an archer. They gave us 18 of the Heron Guard. We'll go ahead and lump them together. And we still have 9 berserks, because we were good with our troops.
Let's go!
But, and we got 2 more dwarven mortars. Not dwarves, though. So, with that in mind, several people wanted to be Heron Guard, and also... Alright, buddy, you're good. Several people wanted to be Heron Guard. I'm going to pause it real fast. And then also, I think maybe we'll rename some dwarven mortars. You might see some common names between the Berserk and the Heron Guard, but, well, we'll just all have to live with it, okay? I'll see you guys in a minute. So now we got people named. There's Silver Dragon, Comte, short for Comte de Saint-Germain, a famous guy that claimed to be immortal. Sorry you didn't have enough room for your full name. And Norsu. I decided to leave the rest of the melee in the Berserks. Each Heron Guard carries a root, so running out of roots is probably not going to be a problem. I also brought back... There we go. I also brought back our old buddy George Noiseless. Because I like him. This is because you can tell they gave us a ton of melee. They gave us a ton of melee because this level is going to be difficult.
Let's go!
But we're gonna try to keep as many of the berserks as we can, actually. Not because they're particularly important from here on out. More just for sentimental value, I suppose. Plus, I don't like using units. The Heron Guard are kind of nifty looking. They're sort of like samurai. And no idea who that guy was shooting at. Probably just none. So you're gonna have to kill this dude. As you can tell, the Heron Guard are more or less our Mercridia, if you will. They can stand up to him and punch him out pretty darn good. We didn't even need the trout for that. How's that for exciting, huh? Over here, the filthy, sneaking ghouls are laying satchel charges out there. I would do something about them, but it's out of our hands, really. Not a lot you can do to stop them. Great shooting, guys. And then, of course, these giants come along and knock a hole in your wall. Most unpleasant. And they pretend like they're not going to come through there, but they are, you know, eventually. Meanwhile, another little group of Mercridia have come up. So we'll take care of them first. Got our archers? No. Archers haven't really managed to hurt anybody. Shame. So we're gonna have the mortars light a few people up, if they can.
Oh yeah.
Not a fan of that, not a fan of that at all.
Yeah.
Nope, nope, no, no, no! Oh, dwarves. Dwarves are always trouble. Or at least they're trouble if they're trying to kill you, that's for darn sure. Oh, that guy doesn't have a root. I'll be dang. Okay, well anyway, we should probably get moving over to this other side here, because they're about to start running on through. It's easy to let the trow get away from your guys, but it's not a good idea to let him get away from them. It's nice to let them take the up front hits. But you notice that the trow do get worked pretty darn good. And unfortunately, we can't heal the trow very much. I mean, they can be healed some, sure. That's not totally ineffective. And they're doing this over here. Sadly, flame arrows do nothing against the filthy, stinking ghouls. And sadly, flame arrows don't burn on this rock, so we can't take out those satchel charges. I'm just saving them for later.
They've broken through to the north.
Yes, they have. Gotta get a dwarven mortar over here. Might be somebody useful to have. If he can make it. Probably can't. But it never hurts. Then we'll keep the other 2 mortars here with our Zerks. You know what? Now, keeping the trow mostly in step with your Heron Guard becomes a little more important later on, and of course by later on I mean here. Alright, so anyway, we're going to try to get the dwarf up front here. Maybe he can shoot this giant or something. Ah, I hate it when they stop and turn. Curse them. Okay, never mind. You shoot them. This should be funny. It really wasn't, though. Get in there. Once again, the dwarf, more of a hindrance than an ally. Oops. We definitely don't want the Heron Guard to be on the giant. And as usual, the archers just have to get a few extra shots in. Okay, so we lost a few good men, and so now we're going to pick up a few of their roots. Haha. Which there should only be like 2, I think. And it doesn't really matter who grabs them. I guess we lost 3 guys there. But, hey, this is their redemption, right? So let's help them get redempted. Which may or may not be a real word. But I'm going to treat it as though it were a real word. So, you know, there you go. Oh, and so here's why I don't like the Heron Guard, by the way. Well, basically, if you remember Myth 1, the whole world was being flattened. Some soulless. We're gonna get revenge on them, eh?
Make a hole.
The whole world was getting flattened. And rather than try to, you know, save humanity or anything, they just decided, hey, we're like the greatest warriors in the universe, and we're just gonna walk around like hobos. I don't care if everybody's getting wiped out. And that's okay to say to, you know, like, bad guys. I'm just trying to see who's coming. A little bit of Mercuridia. But it's not okay to say to the bulk of humanity who have done nothing wrong, and, you know, women, children, they're just like, listen, we're sorry that you guys are about to all get wiped out badly, but, you know, hey, we have our own little honor crisis here, so we gotta do what we gotta do. Oh good, the Mercuridia decided to fight each other for a while. Always fun. Whoops. Hold on, you get him. Archers are able to contribute a little, but mostly the archers just get us blown up, which is not great, but, you know, better than nothing. How are these guys doing? So the one trow is getting down pretty low. Maybe we should heal him. Let's see, who had an extra root? You officially do. Okay. We're gonna go over here and try to heal our buddy. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately it's only gonna heal him that little bit, but that little bit might turn out to be everything. You never know.
Yeah.
Let's see, you just go here, that's fine. For this next bit, we're gonna run on over with the dwarves. We're gonna want to keep everybody together. It's getting to the point now where we need some pretty big punches in order to survive, and I think we may even be getting our berserks into the mix before too much longer. In fact, maybe I should be doing that now. I don't know. Meanwhile, getting the dwarves up in formation. I tell them not to attack because actually we don't want to attack right as the Mercuridia show their ugly Mercurian faces, because they kind of come in and then they pause and it's a pain. So now is a great time. Ooh, was that guy shooting at? Actually, don't do that. Get in there. You guys don't need to attack. Hooray! We survived. We lost the dwarf though. Was it George? It was not George. Great luck. Let's see here. Oops, no, keep going. Both of the trow are pretty beat up, and we need the trow. So, trow are getting screwed. They don't get healed much, but it's better than nothing. Dwarves, on the other hand, may not be seeing anything. So there's got some more Soulless coming. Soulless are basically there to let you know that, yes, you need to keep your dwarves alive.
Yeah.
Maybe we should heal them. I don't know. I tell you what, let's go heal at least the one dwarf. Shazam! We're just gonna run our guys north about as quick as we can. And we're gonna bring the berserks this time. Actually, let's go ahead and keep them their own little separate thing, though.
Moving.
Moving. Oh, can't forget about the trow. Need our trow. Okay.
Yes.
Good thing the trow are also about our fastest unit.
Make up your mind.
The dwarves a little further forward. Everybody's hustling. Because one thing we don't want is for these cretins to get away from us. Boom ski. And now we'll move the trow in. Dwarves out. Criminy, that was loud. The berserks have at him.
Casualty.
Oops, we lost a trout. It's a little upsetting. Alright. Sweet victory, people. Even though that trout is stone. Alright, so we survived it. The Heron Guard's redemption. We lost a trout there at the end, but well, what the heck. We'll probably never see him again, right? I mean, I couldn't possibly be wrong twice in a row. And yes, only one of the trow count as being dead, because the other guy got stoned, so I assume we just revive him after this is all over. Looking at the dwarves, dwarves contributed most of the damage and most of our kills. Kind of expected that. You use your dwarves wisely, that'll always be the case. Trow managed to soak up only 18 kills, but did 30% of the damage. That's because they took on those giants. I sure hope we don't fight the giants again. Maybe we do need our trow. I don't know. Well, too late to replay it anyway. Bowman actually managed to rack up 3 kills. I don't know how. But they did get 11% of the damage, just because they kept shooting. Heron Guard didn't really do much. They're just kind of there to mop up against some Recruitia, but don't worry, there'll be lots of more chances for them to get involved. Lost 3 of them, but, you know, hey. They had a good life, right? Long life. Looking at our heroes, George Noiseless, you survived! You're welcome, buddy. So that's another good one to you. Then the archers, they ran out the hero list because they just been around forever and have a ton of kills. So, according to the score, we dropped 90 of the bad guys, but actually if you add up our kills, it's not quite that many, because Recruitia did kill each other a lot. Got 8 of those cruddy giants, 51 Recruitia, 18 crappy soulless goals, and speaking of soulless, 13 of the soulless. So with that out of the way, I guess now we've got Muirthemne good and secure, and now we'll find out what the narrator has gone off to. Find out next time on Let's Play Myth 2 Soulblighter.